Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Summer Meyers. I'm a homeschool mom of 5 kids, and on this channel we talk about all things homeschool. And today I wanted to talk about a very real thing, a real problem in our homeschool community, and that is homeschool burnout. So it's a little early for this video. This is going to be put up at the end of November, and I know you guys are all in that holiday rush season. I'm in the middle of it too, girlfriend. However, as soon as all those holidays end, you're going to come back into the full swing of January, and then February is going to hit. And you don't have anything fun to look forward to in February, except Valentine's Day. And that's a lot of sugar. There's a couple of gray months ahead. And the thing is with homeschool burnout is that if you are in the middle of it, so hard to get out of it. So if you're thinking about these things now, and I know you've got a lot on your plate right now, mama, a lot of things that you're thinking about. But if you're thinking about these things now, you're going to thank yourself later. Okay, so what is homeschool burnout? Homeschool burnout happens when we have overextended ourselves. We're exhausted. And not only that, it typically happens and hits around the winter season when the days are gray, they're cold, and you don't have the holidays to look forward to anymore, that the festivity has been put away. And it can be rather lonely and isolating during that time. What a bummer thing to think about now. I'm really sorry. I don't mean for this to be a drag. But if you think about this and plan it now, you'll be able to hit that fast and hard, and then you'll be able to get past it and hit the springtime when things start blooming and budding and you just want to be outside and you start talking about curriculum. I think just that time between January to about March, if you can just get through those 3 months, life looks so much greener and brighter. But it's so much harder when you're burnt out, right? The number one thing to think about is to not overextend yourself. What you're doing right now in preparing for the holiday season is a lot of brain space, a lot of things that you are thinking about. And so what's happening is schoolwork is kind of being in this little bit of a shuffle. It's Christmas, it's okay, it's Thanksgiving, it's okay. And things are kind of slowing down in that area because you're getting prepared to take a vacation, take a break. And you know what? Nothing wrong with that, mama. Nothing wrong with that. However, when you hit back into January, you're going to be looking back and being like, oh man, shoot, we're going to need to play catch up a little bit. And you're going to hit that grindstone. You're going to go back into it full swing. And maybe there'll be some energy there because it's a new year, new goals. We're going to do it. But if you are overextending yourself during those first crucial months and you're really pounding the school table, trying to get those lessons done, and you overextend yourself and you overextend your kids, you're going to burn out, mama. You're going to burn out so much faster. So avoid that. Ease back into your schedule, set realistic expectations and goals of where you want to be, and don't panic. I think that's the biggest thing I can put out there. Please don't panic. Don't overextend yourself. It's going to be fine. When you feel a monotony setting in, and that's going to happen in those gray days, when you feel like there's just an endless supply of the same thing day after day, that's when you need to switch up the schedule, switch up the routine a little bit. Now, I'm not completely against schedules. There are some years that I'm like, by this time, by this time, by this time. And we are going through a season of routine right now. So it's not so much this time, this time, this time. It's more of this thing, then this thing, then this thing. And that gives us some flexibility. But if you have a rigid schedule, you're going to feel trapped. It's going to feel enclosed. And the way to combat that is to switch your schedule up. Say, you know what? We have heavy schoolwork in the mornings. Let's shake it up a bit. Let's try in the afternoon. Let's block it out. Let's do these subjects in the morning and then these subjects in the afternoon. And that'll just throw a little bit of a wrench, get your brain thinking again, and it won't feel that monotony. There might be a little chaos there, but that'll get your brain flowing a little bit. It'll get some blood flowing into the head, and it will change how you're thinking about school. You might be feeling like, I'm just switching one problem to another problem. Maybe I'd like the comfort of the monotony. No. Changing it up will throw a little bit of life back into what feels endless. Another thing that I really like to do when I just feel like we're heading into a burnout is to changing up our curriculum. This does not mean dropping curriculum. Do not drop your curriculum in the middle of the year. This isn't working for us. Don't panic, mama. Don't panic. What you do is you just do a unit study. Ask your kids, what do they really want to study right now? And then you go for it. Drop your curriculum for like a week or two and just really dive into sharks. Really dive into dinosaurs, throwing out a bunch of science ideas. Really dive into the American Revolution. Really dive into, Russian history or literature or something. Just give yourself a moment to just focus on something so out of what you guys are practicing right now. Watch YouTube videos, go to museums, do field trips, talk to people, reach out to people in your local community who are experts in that. And throwing that kind of newness into a unit study will revitalize you. And then after 2 weeks of just doing that, focusing on that, and returning to your regular routine will actually feel comfortable. It'll feel like, returning home. There'll be a peace and ease to it, and you won't feel quite so burned out. Another thing to do is to be active. We forget that our bodies need to move too. And if you are so stressed in the mind, sometimes taking a run, I'm not a runner, so I don't know why I said that. Sometimes taking a hike, that's more my jam. If you're going to the gym or whatever, just give yourself a moment of just working out all that stress and anxiety in physical movement and putting out all that power and energy that's just sort of built up inside your head. Releases it. It will release it. A lot of people I know do meditate, they do yoga, and that also just like soothes and calms their soul. So set some time aside in the afternoon or in the early morning doing something that will put out that negative energy that is sort of built up inside of you. Is that kind of crunchy granola? It's a little crunchy granola. Another thing to think about is getting creative. I love to sew, I love to knit, I love to crochet, I love to paint, I love to draw. I'm not saying I'm good at any of those things because I'm not, but those are creative outlets that I have. And sometimes just picking up a new project and being like, this is something that I can do with my hands. This is something that I can put some energy, some positive energy into, releases stress. It's known to release stress. And this works for your kids too. If they're feeling the burned out, if they're resisting school, that's what you do. You say, let's just do some art projects today. Let's just go on a nature hike today. All of these tips will work for your benefit and for your children. So those are some things to consider. As we're entering into the holiday season, I hope you guys are having a wonderful family time and that it is bringing peace and joy into your home. These are things not to bring you down. These are just things to consider as you're leaving the holiday season so you are not stuck in a rut. I'll probably be doing another video sometime in February talking about how to get out of burnout if you're already in it. But if you can avoid it, if you can take some preventative measures before you're full on into that just depressive cycle, you're golden. It helps so much. It's so much harder to crawl out of the hole than to jump into it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it was, like, subscribe, talk to me about your holiday season. I'd love to hear it. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.